Hey everyone, welcome back to another recap podcast from SNXweave, where we give quick weekly recaps of news and important updates from the previous week from the Spartan Council and core contributors, as well as discuss what the Grants Council and ambassadors are up to, so let's get started. First up, the Perps v3 testnet trading competition has officially begun. It started 2 days ago and will conclude on October 23rd at midnight UTC. You can participate in the competition via Quenta or Polynomial's Perps v3 interfaces, but don't forget to connect to the base Gurley testnet for trading. Be sure to check the public Notion page for the full list of whitelisted participants to see if you're part of the chosen pool to compete, and visit the leaderboard site linked in our blog for real-time competition standings. As far as rules go, trading is allowed at any time within the competition period, but transferring balances between wallets or trading accounts is prohibited and will lead to disqualification. Be sure to also keep an eye out for any glitches and report them in the V3 bug report channel of the Synthetics Discord, or your respective front-end integrator. Bug bounty prizes will be awarded based on severity for smart contract and web app bugs, as outlined in Immunify. Rewards range from $1,000 to $10,000 for smart contract bugs, and $300 to $1,000 for web app bugs. So get to trading and see you on base. Next up, in core system updates, SIP 323 to adopt an S prefix for Synthetics v3 asset tickers has been approved by auditors. Check out the link in our blog for a technical spec clarification document that explains more details about the changes this SIP will bring. The SIP for the cross-chain election module is also in audit. The CCs will begin processing feedback this week as their primary focus has been the testnet competition up until now. The team also discussed the v3 migration, as the legacy market audit fixes are being finalized and implemented. Following the testnet competition, the current plan is to do a limited mainnet alpha release with Perps as the first live test for connected v2 and v3 systems. Overall, the plan is still to have a progressive migration, allowing users to migrate as the incentives change. In other discussion, ML Sudo is working on a template to compare v3 tokenomics proposals. During the meeting, Duck also asked about the reward distributor design, which allows fees generated to be distributed to SNX stakers. With the base deployment only supporting ETH collateral, Duck questioned how fees for base activity would be distributed to stakers on Optimism or Ethereum mainnet, and if that should be considered in the design of v3. Millie brought up the fact that other protocols have adopted a fractured staking model, which limits liquidity availability on many chains. He agrees that fees should be accrued to stakers regardless of what chain they're on. Noah explained that by default, fees generated on a chain would be deposited into the market manager, which would reduce debt for the LPs supporting that market. They can, however, be sent to the rewards distributor, which can distribute them across multiple chains if needed. Another suggestion is the possibility of an SNX buyback and burn, which could be automated and would benefit any holder of the token. Millie proposed a Dutch auction-style solution where an initial price could be set by the Spartan Council and would drop at predetermined intervals until the SNX is depleted. Gene and Adam shared some concerns about the idea of buybacks. They acknowledged that it might be the quickest solution currently, but Adam said he's concerned it may incentivize users to just hold SNX rather than stake it, which generates the collateral base on top of which the entire protocol operates. He suggested accruing the excess fees to a multi-sig that might be used later to incentivize LPs as the protocol scales, or bridged to Optimism or Ethereum and distributed there. There was some consensus on this approach after further discussion. Next up, there was a SIP presentation last week, SIP 341, to add a configurer address that can execute SCCPs. Currently, the owner address can run protocol upgrades via execution of SIPs and call permissioned functions, which then execute SCCPs. This SIP would add the option to add another address that could execute SCCPs but not SIPs. This upgrade would allow some flexibility in how SIPs and SCCPs are executed in v3, pending governance approval of the new process. If the protocol got to the point of immutability and required no further code changes, there will still likely be a need for the ability to process configuration changes, and this upgrade puts the mechanism in place to allow that. In Grants Council updates, the NFT website and auctions are live, and the mint is coming very soon. The trading competition NFT rewards have also been finalized and are ready to be handed out to winners at the end of the competition. The team is also in the process of choosing a developer for the V3 Dune Analytics stats front end, and Sunny is scheduled to meet with the developers who are working on the Thales overtime market on V3. The governance guide is also coming along nicely, and the team has been discussing some possible retroactive grants. Lastly, we mentioned last week that the Grants Council has integrated ENS resolution into the Watcher page, and now they've enabled tracking open interest and profit loss, with open position tables coming soon. In Ambassador updates, the team discussed information relating to Rage Trade prior to their Spartan space with them last week. They also discussed the Optimism Bagholder call, the Season 4 roundup, and feedback from Optimism Retroactive Public Goods Funding Round 3, which are all linked in our blog. The ambassadors also helped provide feedback on Synthetics v3 docs for the CCs, discuss their next Spartan space with Infinex, future perps listings, and the trading competition on Base. And that's it for today's updates. Be sure to check out our weekly recap blog post, share this podcast link, and let us know what you think and what you'd like to hear more about from SNXweave. Thanks for listening.